the southernmost peak of the Cascades, Lassen. One's experience at Lassen Peak National Park can depend very much on the time of the year visited. One highway winds through the park, but it is only open a few months of the year, usually from the end of June through October. As it turned out, the year I visited in July, the road had just been opened within the past week, and then only one lane. So here we sit, waiting for traffic coming from the other end. And no, this is not a classic car group. I made this trip in 1958. After they pass by, we will start on one of the most famous journeys in any of our national parks, the auto caravan through the canyons of snow. A stop to view the scenery, with a close-up look at Lassen Peak. There is a trail from this point to the top of the 10,457-foot summit, but at the moment it seems a bit impractical to try to hike it. Maybe another time. And so we continue our winter journey, in July. Later, and down from the pass, the clouds are gone, and the mountain gleams in the bright sun. As mentioned earlier, Lassen Peak is the southernmost mountain of the Cascade Range, and is one of the only two volcanoes in the lower 48 states considered active. Lassen is a lava dome volcano. Lava is thick and pasty, which bulges up from the vent, then solidifies and cools and becomes a plug in the vent. This causes expansion below its surface. The sleeping giant woke up on Memorial Day, 1914. A new crater was formed from the explosion, 40 feet wide and 150 feet long, with deep fissures going all directions. This was only the beginning of eruptions through 1914 and into 1915. By October 1914, the crater was approximately 700 feet long, 400 feet wide, and up to 40 feet deep. Things got wilder and wilder through the first months of 1915. The grand finale came on May 22, 1915. A sudden release of pressure spewed boulders as large as small cabins. Smoke and steam raised to a height of 30,000 feet, creating a giant mushroom cloud. A searing, hot cloud of gas flowed down the mountainside, completely leveling trees in its path. Steam shot out of the east side in a horizontal blast, blowing down all the trees in its path, and along with the mud flow, destroying 4 to 5 million feet of timber. Sporadic eruptions continued until 1921, and the volcano has been quiet since. Maybe not dead, but according to some, dying. Still, who really knows? After all is not completely quiet along the sides of the mountain. That is not clouds over the snowy highway, but vents of steam rising from the earth. The deep earth, that is. Bumpass Hell is one of several areas in Lassen Peak National Park of geothermal activities, the result of molten or partially molten magma, just 6 to 12 miles below the surface. Here, we have the most extensive geothermal system in the Cascades. Water from snow and rain seeps into the porous ground, coming into contact with rocks heated by the magma, with the result steam and water reaching 465 degrees rising back to the surface. I would think a mud bath here would be a little hot to handle. In fact, Bumpass Hell was named after a gentleman who discovered it the hard way, realizing too late you don't step into something like this. Actually, from what I understand, he stepped into a thermal poo, which is a bit cooler than the magma, like maybe 240 degrees. It was still enough to divest him of his leg. Winter or summer, the steam still spurts from the earth. Your nose can tell before your eye spots the vapors. It's the smell of rotten eggs, hydrogen sulfide, a volcanic gas released by the magma below.